It started mainly back when I was in high school. It was me and the singer Steve. We're mainly into, I guess the first band that really got us into music was Ozzy Osbourne. I loved Randy Rhoads. I used to play air guitar to Randy Rhoads, and Steve used to sing Ozzy lyrics on the school bus. And it just seemed like a natural extension that we would just want to play music. We didn't know exactly how to play, but Ozzy, I guess you could say, was the impetus to put us together to say, hey, let's play some music. So we kind of bounced around a little bit and just started, you know, taking lessons and learning what we were doing. And then we met the keyboardist Rick, also in school, who had the same interest in music and Stephen King stories and Salvador Dali paintings. So we had a lot together. So then we brought him into the fold and just started to write some basic, you know, type of basic tunes. After that, it was kind of hard to find other people to play that style of music. So it was kind of a hard look. We finally found a good drummer. Our first drummer was down from New York, played in a couple thrash bands in New York, and we would just jam with him for a while. The hardest part we had, though, was finding a bass player. We went through so many bass players, couldn't find anybody that would keep up with style music. You know, at that point we were starting to get into the progressive stuff, the Fates Warning and things like that. Most bass players just wanted to play, you know, some lazy 4-chord riffs. It was really hard to get anybody to play. So what we did is we got our friend Mike, who's now our bass player. He was a guitar player. He used to bring his guitar and amp down to our warehouse and jam with us, and we just couldn't get a bass player, so we would beg him. We would be, hey Mike, can you just play, why don't you switch over to bass? Why don't you play bass? And he wanted to play guitar, but he even knew, as he used to come watch us jam, we could never get a bass player. So he got tired of watching us play without a bass player. Finally one day he said, all right, I'll switch over to the bass. And once we finally got Mike to switch over to the bass, he basically just played guitar on the bass. And from that point, me and Mike became real close and started writing all the riffs together. And that's when we started getting into our real technical phase. And basically, it's what you have to do sometimes. You got to take a guitar player and force him to be a bass player. So anyway, to make a long story longer, we put out our first demo tape, which was called OMED, which basically just seemed to get an underground following. We just did it because we just liked it, but people seemed to really pick up on it in the underground. And before we knew it, we were hearing from other circles that it was getting circulated in the underground, and started to get some things rolling for us. At that point, we needed to get a more serious drummer. The drummer just wasn't going to be committed to doing it for the long haul. So thankfully, we were introduced to the current drummer, who's now Lopez. And what he brought to the band was something we were lacking at the time. We were just into really super technical stuff and cramming all these riffs in as fast as we could. We didn't really have any groove. And what Joe brought was just a good groove and a feel. And Joe started to change the feel of the music, and we started to actually become more song-oriented. And once we got Joe in the fold, we put out another tape to shop for a management deal, and that was called Visuals. And Visuals then went on to become a couple of those songs were on Headspace. And so we recorded the first album, Headspace, at Morris Sound Studios in Tampa with Tom Morris, that we were really hooked into because we were big fans of the band Coroner. And Tom had worked with Coroner, so we said, hey, the guy's right in our backyard in Tampa, let's go work with this guy. He worked with someone that we really, really loved, and that's how we came to meet Tom and finally put out Headspace. We've been lucky to play with a lot of really killer bands. We got to travel to some fun towns. We played at music conferences in New Orleans and South Beach, and we just had fun recently doing the Power Mad Festival in Baltimore. We got to play with a lot of killer prog bands, and it was a lot of fun. It's been kind of hard in our area here in Tampa, Florida. The nightclub scene here has not been real conducive to original bands. It seems like now all the club owners are going back to the cover band thing and dance music, so it's been really tough in this area. So what we've done, instead of getting frustrated by it, is we've gone into our recording studio and we said, hey look, we're going to sit here and we're going to woodshed and we're going to put together all these new songs, and we're going to come out with an even better album than before. Because Headspace was as good as we could do at the time, but we learned so many more production values since then, and we've also learned to get our songwriting skills now to where we can write more concise songs. So we're in the studio, we're hammering out a bunch of new tunes. We're hoping probably to have maybe an hour to an hour and a half of music on the new album. It's a lot of the same stuff you've heard from Opposite Earth. We've still got the heavy stuff, but we've moved into that more of the groove stuff, but it's kind of taken the 80s thrash elements, some of the 90s elements, and maybe even some futuristic stuff where we're trying to stretch out and do some instrumental stuff that people might not say is, quote, metal, but I think that what people want is something original, something that they've not constantly heard all the time. I think people are going to be real excited by the new material. Tentatively, right now, the new album is called Selling the Miracle. And it's Selling the Miracle comes from a song that we've written. It's one of our favorite songs right now. We can't wait for the people to hear it. In our area here in Florida, there's a bank building that's got like glass windows. And one day someone happened to see the image of the Virgin Mary up on the glass windows. And, you know, regardless of what you think about any of that, the fact is that we had thousands and thousands of people from every country flying in and coming to this bank building to stare up on this glass and see what they thought, or what might be, who knows, an image of the Virgin Mary. And it's right in our hometown, right at a little intersection with a shopping center and everything. You got people who are having vigils, and this big parking lot got roped off, and then they got traffic cops, and suddenly they got lights, and there's this big thing where all these people from the world are coming to the Virgin Mary. And whether it's a miracle or not, we don't really want to say, but what was starting to bother us is you go to the gas station right next to it, and sure enough, at the gas station, you got t-shirts, I saw the Virgin Mary, and you got postcards and keychains and all this, and we thought, regardless of what you think about it, each person can take whatever meaning they want from it, but here's the typical commercialization in our time, is that, yeah, here's a great miracle, but everybody right off the bat is looking to see, what can I sell? How can I profit from it? What can I put it on? What will people buy? We'll put it on a t-shirt, we'll put it on a keychain. So we basically came up with the concept, look, they're selling the miracle. People are coming over here from who knows what countries, and they're saying, hey, we're selling the miracle to you. Yeah, take a part of it home. Take this keychain home, this postcard home, and say you saw it. And you would think that for those people that it would be closer to the heart than something spiritual, but basically the way we looked at it was, here's your typical commercialization in America today. A miracle, maybe, maybe not, but you can get it on a t-shirt. That's probably not a miracle.
Hello, I'm Steven Vincent from the incredible band Opposite Earth. How are you? We're going to do a little shoot right now, getting ready to play a gig down in Sarasota, Florida. We've been working over the summer on our new album, done some pre-production. That's a car, it's a truck with a big antenna on the back. In Florida, that means people who like four-wheel drive trucks and likes to go out in the woods and mud bug. Back to what I was saying before, we did pre-production during the summertime. I'm going to be shipping out some CDs to our labels, you know, in Florida and over in Europe. We're working on some new material. We're going to actually play one song tonight. It's brand new. It's a very different style for us, but it's very, very much in our style, but it's very different for us. Guys are doing good. Everybody's just kind of keeping the paces, you know, doing a good job. We're just trying to get our songs down and make it great. We'd like to thank everyone that supports us. We really do appreciate it. And don't be afraid to call us. Call us. Call my house. I'll give you my phone number. Email us at opposite-earth.com. As you can tell, I'm just making up shit right now. So, like I said, we're going to be doing. We finished our pre-production, and hopefully we'll have the album done by the beginning of, probably ready for an early summer release. We hope everyone will enjoy it, and like I said, we appreciate all of our fans. Thank you very much, and peace.